So-called legal highs are more dangerous than illegal drugs. That's the warning tonight from one of Wales's leading drug experts. Yaina Samuels told ITV News that it's a huge problem in Wales that's set to get a lot worse. It comes as a National Assembly committee calls for the supply of legal highs to be banned. Megan Boot reports.
It may be legal, but some say it's lethal. Jay and Holly are former users of so-called legal highs. They now share their experiences to help teach others about the risks.
But I know people that have lost their eyesight. I know people that have committed suicide, as a direct result of using legal highs. And so, I mean, it is a massive concern of mine. Like I was saying, I've got a young sister. It needs to be addressed, definitely needs to be addressed.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a fifth one over there to go on the road one, okay?
Yaina Samuels has been doing that for years. Director of NuHi training, this room will soon be full of computers, so volunteers can offer online lessons on substance misuse. Are so-called legal highs as much of a concern as illegal drugs?
I would say, in my personal opinion, yes, they are as much of a concern. And in fact, I would think that we need to be even more worried because we don't know what's in the drugs. We don't know what's in each packet that comes along. We don't know the strength of it, we don't know the chemicals that are in there, and we don't know the lasting effects of the damage that's being done.
Teenagers need to understand that a developing brain is not going to withstand some of the punishment that they're going to get from the drugs.
Over at the Assembly, they want to do more to deal with an issue already linked to 60 deaths in Wales and England in 1 year. If legal highs are so dangerous, why aren't they made illegal?
Well, that's the concept. The term legal indicates that they're safe. No, they're not safe. They are dangerous and they have great harm to young people and to people who take them. And what we want to try and do is ensure that the supply of those drugs is illegal. Not the use, but the supply.
Stopping those suppliers is now a question for the UK government. But stopping the demand requires more education about what is in these packets. Megan Boot, ITV News.
Well, joining me now is Dan Rowley, a drugs worker from the Kaleidoscope project in Newport. Thanks very much for coming in to speak to us this evening.
No problem.
We heard experts there in that report saying that legal highs can be just as dangerous, if not more dangerous, than illegal drugs. You work with people every day that use drugs. What do you think, in your experience, that is the case?
To go as far as to say more dangerous, I think would be putting my neck out. But I'd say that they have the potential to be as dangerous as classic drugs, if you like, your heroin, your cocaine, your cannabis. It's the effect of the drugs is, the long term especially, is unknown. However, poor injecting practice, a lack of clean equipment, poor drug using methods are a real risk.
And one of the big problems is people buying these legal highs don't really know what's in them, do they? Well,
first off, a guy mentioned it in the report quite well. We should really try and get away from the term legal highs, not only because people think it means safe, it's a misnomer in a lot of cases. Some of the compounds in synthetic cannabinoids, for instance, have been illegal for up to 4 years now. But in terms of whether or not, what was the question?
Do you think that people really know what's in them?
Oh, no, that was the point, yeah. Wedinos, the project Wedinos, www.wedinos.org. Ignorance is no excuse now. You can get your samples tested anonymously. You can send them away within sort of 4 days. You'll have a response and you'll know exactly what's in it.
So, changing the terminology, you said that's an important thing. Just first off, well, the UK government have said to us that they are developing proposals for this general ban on supplying the legal highs. What sort of difference do you think that will make?
Well, it's funny that we talk about a ban or any change in legislation where we have evidence that people will ignore, like the ban on current drugs. Drugs are still a problem. Banning them doesn't do anything. What it does do is create a criminal class. So when you're making something illegal that's actually not a moral issue, you just create a criminal element to it. That's the only thing that's gonna happen. When you have a legal drug like alcohol that causes more harm than all the other drugs put together. So
from your point of view, you'd be dubious about that. Dan Rowley, thank you very much indeed for joining us this evening. Thank you. And there'll be more on this story on tomorrow's Wales at 6 as well, as we visit a drugs testing project in Cardiff. It's the only place in Europe that offers anonymous testing to find out exactly what substances are being found in so-called legal highs, something that Dan was mentioning just a moment ago, just then.